Now we're going to try looking up our GPS coordinates like manually without using any type of app. Now I did map out where my cell phone is. Like you can label where your GPS coordinates are on Google. See, it says cell phone GPS. That's actually where my cell phone is, and I live in an apartment building in New York City. But then you see back here, they spoof your GPS coordinates, you know. That's another thing I could teach you what GPS spoofing is. So they spoof your GPS coordinates and like they mess with your coordinates, I think, you know, like, which is very weird. They spoof it. So we could go, let's try start, see if that works. Allow. Yeah, we're just trying to get it to look at our GPS coordinates. No, that's not me. Wow. Oh, okay, so it says my location is, no, I'm not at Highbridge Green School. I'm in an apartment building. That's weird, right? Let's try again. Okay. Wow, we keep messing with it. See, yeah, that's where I should be, you know, like located. That should be my GPS right there. I'm like in an apartment building in the back, right? Like, see back here, this is like the entrance of the apartment, you know, in the front here, these two streets. And then I'm like way in the back of the building on the right side right here, right? So sometimes you gotta like screw with it a couple of times to get it to work. Oh, look at that. Now this says Highbridge Green School, you know, but I'm not at Highbridge Green School, okay? So like, that one's weird. Like Highbridge Green School is over here, okay? That's Highbridge Green School, okay? I don't know if it's elementary school or a middle school, but it's a school. I am like way over here, right? So they spoof your GPS coordinates and they mess with them really bad if you're a target individual. It's called GPS spoofing, right? So now this is where I'm actually located, right? I labeled it on Google where I'm actually located, right? You can label your location on Google, you know. Now that's actually where I'm located, you know. That's my apartment right there where it says cell phone GPS. But if you click on here, it says Highbridge Green School, which is weird, right? But I'm not at this Highbridge Green School, which is like way over here. I'm in an apartment building, you know. I'm in this apartment building in New York City. Okay, so it just shows you like if you're a target individual, like they really mess with your GPS coordinates. Let's see. Okay, we're just messing with them. Okay, and then yeah, we're trying to get directions. Let's see. See, what does it say? That's weird. That is very weird. We're just kind of playing with it. I'm getting directions to my apartment. That's weird. We're just kind of like fucking around with it to see what it's doing. Okay, and then okay. So we'll click on that again. Now that should be where my apartment is, you know. That should be the accurate location of where my apartment is, right? See, you can edit the label and That should be where my apartment is. That should be my legit GPS coordinates right there. Okay. So I copied the GPS coordinates onto my clipboard, right? Okay. And then I'm going to put them into Google. All right. Copy and paste. Okay. All right. There you go. So that's my GPS coordinates that I did manually, on Google Maps. Okay. Okay, that's wild, right? Okay. Now I'm going to teach you something else about your GPS coordinates, right? Like, okay, so we're going to just like go like this, and let's just like click on that red thing and see where it brings me to. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty accurate. Okay, I'm trying to make it as accurate as possible, All right, and then like you can take numbers off. Take a number off. Take a number off. Keep seeing where you're going, Keep seeing where your shite is going. You can take numbers off. Interesting, right? Anyway, it's interesting. You can keep taking numbers off. Yeah, I told you can keep doing that. And I'm just checking to see if my location changes if I take a couple of numbers off or something. Because I've seen it do that. It's very weird. Okay. Wow. And then go under maps. See if it changes my location. Wow. So I took some of the numbers off, and it goes to Highbridge Green School. Interesting. Because I'm not at Highbridge Green School. I showed you, I'm like in an apartment building back here where it says cell phone GPS. So that's wild. Okay. And then, yeah, you can take your numbers off, and see where you route to when you take the numbers off, like see if you're still routing to the apartment building or the house where you live in. Yeah, that's what GPS spoofing is. Like they kind of mess with your GPS coordinates. Wow. Now I took the numbers off, right? And I'm going to some place at 1020 Grand Concourse. Look at that, right? That's wild. Which is like, I checked it out. It's like it's very far away from where I live, like, okay. It's very far away from where I live. It's like East 165th Street in the Bronx, because I live in the Bronx in New York City. Okay. And so it's really far away. Like, it's way over here, And, yeah, it's like really far away. Like, well, not super far, but pretty far. We're kind of like messing with it. So I actually live like over here, right? Cell phone GPS. Yeah, there's a NYPD police station like a half a block away from where I live. I could almost throw a tennis ball and hit their squad car. Which I won't do that. I'll go to jail probably. But see, like, that's wild, right? So take your GPS coordinates and go under maps and see where you're going to. Grand Concourse. Isn't that wild? And then Grand Concourse, that's like really far away from where I live. It says it's close to the Bronx Housing Civil Court. Okay. And then it's close to Yankee Stadium, because I live pretty close to Yankee Stadium where the New York Yankees play baseball and all that shit, right? Okay. So that's wild, right? Like, yeah, Yankee Stadium is around here. It's on 161st Street. I live on 167th Street. Okay. But that's wild. So you can take your GPS coordinates like that and see where it's going to when you take off all the numbers and all that shit, right? Like, so that's wild. Like, my GPS coordinates are going to some place far away from where I live. And then if you take off the GPS coordinates some more, then I'm going to North Brother Island. Okay. Yeah, look at that. North Brother Island. Which is like some abandoned island in the Bronx. Isn't that wild? There's like South Brother Island. There's North Brother Island. Rikers Island, where you go to jail. You definitely don't want to go to that island. Not an island you want to visit. Not even for fun, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to North Brother Island. Like, in the Bronx, they have all these abandoned islands. I wouldn't say all of them are abandoned. I'm going to North Brother Island. Look at that. Because you know how the naysayers are. Unless I show them this shite on Google, they'll deny that this is happening, you know. See, North Brother Island. Look at that. And I could look up what North Brother Island is. Isn't that wild? And then you could take off another one. Take off another one. Take off another one. Look at that. Okay. And then see where you're going to under maps. That's wild. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going into an empty body of water or something. That's wild. What is this? Wow. Now I'm going into the Hudson River in New York City or something. I don't know. I don't know what that is. The East River. The Hudson River. I'm going into one of the bodies of water. That's wild. So it's interesting, right? To do. Okay. That's wild, right? Okay, and then what you can do, we'll go back again. We'll go back to the beginning. Are we all the way back? Yeah, I think we're all the way back, right? Yeah, like, okay. Okay. Yeah, we're all the way back to the beginning, right? Okay. So then you can take these GPS coordinates again. I'll copy the front. For some reason I have a hard time doing it the other way. Copy the front, right? Okay. Copy the front. Okay. And then put in a little minus sign and put your GPS coordinates in, right? Paste. Okay. Copy and paste. Okay. And then look at where you're going when you reverse your GPS coordinates, right? So I just reversed my GPS coordinates. Okay. And you can reverse your GPS coordinates. That is legit. Okay. Wow. So I'm going to a lot of places in New York City, right? Like a lot of like places in New York. That's wild. Okay. So then you could also look at like maps and see where you're going to. This is wild, right? Like, looks like I'm going to Nowhere Land. Nowhere Land? Like, it looks like they're spoofing my GPS coordinates. Like, they're hacking into them to where I can't, like, That might be where I live right there. Greenland? Oh, no, they're not. I'm going to Greenland. Okay. I'm not even going to the Bronx. Yeah, and when me and SHP and other target individuals, when we would reverse our GPS coordinates, we would see ourselves going to like Greenland or Antarctica or like Ascension Island, which is this island off the coast of Africa, you know. It's wild shite. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to Greenland. That's wild. See, Greenland. There you go. Now, who's the crazy one now, right? Like, because they'll deny it and say that, you know, that you're cray-cray. So, like, it says Greenland. So, Greenland is very far away from New York City. I'm, like, way down here. So, that's wild, right? Like, so it's going to Greenland. Wow, and then... That's wild. So, anyway, we'll go back so we don't lose our place. Okay. And then you can just keep taking it off, you know, taking the numbers off like I did, you know, on the before I reversed the GPS coordinates and see where you're going to. It's probably going to keep going to Greenland. But it's interesting to you know, to kind of screw around with your GPS coordinates and see where you're going to get it to bring up the thing, you know, where you're routing to. You can click on maps or click on this red dot. Yeah, I think it's still going to Greenland. Yeah, let's see. It's going to Greenland. That's wild. Yeah, so when I reverse my GPS coordinates to go into Greenland. Now, I know there's like military bases in Greenland, right? And Antarctica. That's wild. Okay. Reverse it again. I mean, not reverse, just keep deleting, see where you're going. And then go under maps. We'll go under maps just to see maybe I screwed up and I did it wrong or something. Or isn't that wild? So when I reverse my GPS coordinates, they go to Greenland. One time they were going to like, I swear they were going to Ascension Island, which is like off the coast of Africa, you know. I swear to God, they really were. That is wild. Okay. So anyway, that was like teaching you how to like mess with your GPS coordinates. And then let's take some more numbers off. I think it's going to keep going to Greenland, you know. No matter how many numbers I take off, I think it will keep going to Greenland. Yeah, it's still going to keep going to Greenland. Okay. And then you could also look at all the places you're routing to. I'm going to Nave Sea Mill. Yeah, I mean, I already told you how to do that, how to look at all the shite you're routing to. That's wild, huh? Like, wow. Anyway, that is wild. Bye.